वरना इसलिए नहीं ठीक हो गया।
Assalamualaikum everyone. Very good morning. I'd like to begin the session by introducing a very famous and distinguished scholar, but more than that, a very, very dear friend of mine for a long, long time. Professor Adnan Badran. Professor Badran, I've known him for many decades, and he has been the moving spirit in Jordan and in the Islamic world. He is presently the president of the Islamic World Academy of Sciences. He has held numerous distinguished positions in the past. He was the Prime Minister of Jordan in 2005, and had positions of Minister of Agriculture, the Minister of Education. He was the Senator and Chair of the Minister of Technical Science and Agriculture, and also the Deputy Director General of the Ministry in 1994 and 1998.
From here?
If I start reading the accomplishments, it will take all day.
Yeah.
So what I want to just say is what a pleasure is
Back
to have him here with us, Karachi, and have him deliver this lecture on digital transformation, technology and innovation for socio-economic development. Mr. Adnan Badran, please.
Not changing because it changed. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Professor Atta, for those introductory remarks. I was told this morning, that today is the Women's Day, according to the UN. And we would like to congratulate every woman in this hall, in Pakistan, and in the world, particularly in the OIC member states. You know, without women, we're worth nothing. Thank you. I hope I know how to use this one. Yeah, that's it. Digital transformation is the trend in this millennium. Is moving very quickly, and the world is going to move to really digital transformation. And some people, they say within 10 years, we will change to metaverse. So the internet will be very powerful tool for our connection, for our, not only connection, for our education, for our industry, and for our commercialization. Even trade will be done on internet mostly. Delivery will be done by drones, where everything will reach your house without having to go in a car and too much traffic and so forth. So things will change. This is according to many scientists, and the change will come quickly. So innovation and digital transformation requires an ecosystem, requires an environment, very inducing environment. And this is very important, requires resilience, requires to create friendly environment and to have so many disciplines, multidisciplinary people, because digital transformation is going to work to solve problems. And problems is not monodisciplinary anymore. It's transdisciplinary and interdisciplinary. When we talk about climate change, when we talk about food security, when we talk about water shortage, when we talk about cities and towns and population, when we talk about so many things, you need more than one discipline to solve the problem. And this is why digital transformation will require to bring people from various disciplines and to start from customer backward, like backward engineering, like the engineering scenario, and the breakdown silos of disciplines to multidiscipline and build resilience into the business community. But how to drive transformation by innovation? Structural change for new skill hands-on is needed. We have to restructure many organizations in the future. We have to restructure education and higher education, because digital transformation, the requirement is so different, it's so direct, empowering capacity of human resources to reduce their potential in creativity and innovation, and adapting AI, artificial intelligence. The future is AI, and AI is moving ahead. Many countries now, they are creating university. It's called AI university, because they are looking into the future. AI will be so important in robotics and doing most of the human being work by robots. Then we need space for creative thinking to generate innovative idea. In the digital world, variety and diversity will drive innovation and transformation into a new space. One thing we have to realize that research and technology derived from research is essential for innovation. And this is the graph will show that with technology, innovation will rise. And if we look again, the trends of technology and innovation, we'll find cloud technology is really the thing we have to look at. And this is where we'll attract research in databases, creating databases in the cloud technology ecosystem to bridge the gap of the skills in building the culture of innovation, security, and privacy, cybersecurity, to protect new technologies. I think we have to realize one thing. Culture and ecosystem is so important to induce innovation. Innovation cannot work in a vacuum. It needs elements to encourage and to induce innovation. You need technology, you need the R&D delivery to change it to innovation, and then to start startups, companies and business. And this is how SMEs, small medium enterprise, starts from an idea, from a product of delivery of R&D, and from innovation. The metaverse, really Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Metaverse, and he is the former CEO of Facebook, expect that we need 10 years for Metaverse to become a mainstream online. Online is coming, and electronic e-learning and e-commerce and e-government, I think it's taken over. And this is what we expect. But the climax in 10 years will be the metaverse, where a mix, the internet will be the most important tool in our life. Digital, and we are moving then, if we get that, we are moving to a digital universe. universe, when we talk about metaverse, really, it's an old idea. It started in 1992. Science fiction. You wonder, when you read the science fiction, you think this is impossible. But with time, you find the science fiction becomes a true story. So many things we hear now, we see about invasion and, the satellites, the moon, reaching the moon and so forth. We used to read it in children. When we were children, we used to read it in comics and fiction books. But fiction books becomes with time reality. And this is why metaverse was indicated as science fiction in 1992 by Stevenson, but which is called the snow cache. And it's about avatars. Avatars, 3D dimension, virtual reality, and virtual environment. And virtual online virtual world, augmented reality. And all what you need, really, video communication. You need the iPhone and you need the VR, and you are there in the metaverse world. Example of metaverse. Metaverse is an evolution of the internet. The internet is going to expand to become the metaverse of the world, and the world will become more and more digital world. Online space where people can socialize, play, and contact each other and construct as avatars. What you need, a virtual reality headset connected to PC and later to iPhones. You have the Meta Facebook, expected the next platform to metaverse. Microsoft is going to be the holograms, mixed reality of the MR of avatars, and then re-engaging Martin Luther King in 1963. His speech, the famous speech at Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., when he said, "I have a dream." Martin Luther King is being produced in metaverse now, where virtual reality with physical appearance and this VR, Martin Luther King is produced as a person, saying the speech and walking between people and so forth. This is really the metaverse of the future. And Minecraft, again, playing kids and so forth will be very popular in metaverse. Now, UNESCO, 4 pillars of education. UNESCO, 4 pillars of education. I think if you remember the 4 pillars Jacques Delors report. The Jacques Delors report, he talked about the 21st century education. And he put 4 pillars: learning to be, learning to know, and learning to work, learning to do, and learning to live with others. I think those 4 pillars, we need to re-examine those in the digital transformation. If we introduce digital transformation, then they stay as the pillars of education, but they need to be modified to fit the digital age, the digital transformation. Lifelong learning become very important in the future with the digital transformation. When you go to McDonald's, I thought really, when I see people going to McDonald's, ordering a sandwich, and looking at their phone and playing with their phone, iPhones or Samsung, and then eating their sandwich in 10 minutes, I start to think the future will be different. Learning is going to be different. Lifelong learning is going to be the story of tomorrow, where people, they go back, like coming back to this excellent center for a sandwich course. a sandwich learning package. It takes 1 week, probably 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks. To change profession in 3 weeks. There is no time to waste and spending years and years and getting another degree. Your first degree, you come as a base, and then you pick up a sandwich, a learning package sandwich. Learning package sandwich could be double burger, which takes 6 months, or mono burger, which takes 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it takes. And I think the future to react to need of society, which is coming very quick. We are living in a changing world, changing every day, by the way, and going to change much faster. In 1 year, you will see different things. And you have to prepare your human resources to meet the challenges. And you cannot go just back to the university for a further degree. I think we need to develop the university system like night school, evening schools for sandwiches, learning sandwiches, learning packages of sandwiches. If you need a course on metaverse, or you need a course on one thing, aspect in chemistry or biology, then you go pick up a course for non-degree course, but for a certificate, you'll be certified. And I believe this is the future of learning, that university is not enough. It's going to be to meet the challenges of tomorrow. I think we have to go back and think of lifelong learning, which is available where people, they get in, get a sandwich and go back to work for another profession. And this is how to reduce what I call the unemployment, because some profession become saturated. No need for any individual. Then you go and pick up a sandwich in the university, a learning package, and you pick it up and you go back to a new profession or to new work. I think this is the future in the digital world, I feel. Role of scientific research in developing technology, this is the university plays an amazing role in that. And this is where I have given examples about how university R&D is really producing the know-how and producing the challenges. If you take Microsoft, Samsung, for example, Samki Kwon University, which is 500 years old in South Korea, they are the producer of Samsung. Look, Samsung, how much impact has done in the world from a research done in a university in South Korea. And this is where we can see that in the digital world, we are going to see more and more of incubation and science parks. And I was really surprised, as a matter of fact, and happy yesterday when we went to tour in this center, the International Biological and Chemical Center. I saw a startup building is under construction. By the way, this is the future. R&D for publication is fine, but we need R&D to go to that building for startups, incubator, to be incubated and graduate. In addition, we graduate human resources. We have to graduate every year companies, startup companies. Again, you can see that Silicon Valley, South Korea, they have the Technopark. So Technopark in Finland and Iceland, they are moving ahead. In Toronto, Canada, for example, around Cambridge, in Boston, the Cambridge Square, wherever you go, Science Park, beside the university, they are helping the socio-economic development. And when we talk about how to develop, how to increase, to promote the socio-economics, we have to think the university has to do something. It's not only publish or perish, but also how to turn those publications into patents and turning this patent to startups. And startups will really make business for the country to be promoted. Again, enhance innovation from schooling. Education has to become early. If you inquiry-based education is the future. You have to promote inquiry from childhood up, to bring scientists, to bring inventors, and to bring people who can solve problems. Building a culture of innovation, identifying performance, this is the World Bank, has 4 points how to really build the culture of innovation in various countries, and how to enhance vibrant innovation and develop what I said, the ecosystem. We had Davos conference on the Dead Sea, and then the youth participated, and they came up really with a time and agenda how to move in to engage the youth in innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups to open new horizon in the future. So that's the conclusion, and I want to turn here that I picked up really 2 indicators in the STIs to examine the OIC countries and how we can compare them to the world. At the end here, I want to show you those histograms. I picked up really what I call high-tech production or high-tech export as a percentage or ratio of the total export of the country. So I took you the world, the best in the world, and you can see here, and then I took the OIC member states. So you can see that Iceland is #1 right now in high-tech export as percentage of all manufactured export. And next to China, then you have the UK and the rest of the country here. But if you go to the right, you can see Malaysia is leading. Malaysia is leading the OIC countries in terms of high tech export as percentage of all manufactured products. Then I think this is Kazakhstan, United Arab Emirates, and then Indonesia, and so forth. So you can see that some countries really, they are coming up in the OIC countries in terms of technology, that they are becoming high producer and exporter of high-tech industry to the world. And some of them, they started really to compete with the industrialized countries, which are traditionally are known for high-tech export. Then I took another indicator. Why is that moving here? Okay. I took another indicator, that patents. Then you have 2 types of patents. One is patent by residents and non-residence patents. Again, if you see the world in terms of patents production per year, then you take China, it's #1 right now. China is used to be back, and now is moving up. China is the future, by the way. China is moving ahead, and I think it's going to surpass United States. This is my feeling. So China now in patent production by residents, they are #1 in the world. Next to it, United States, then it comes Japan, and the rest of the world, Korea, Germany, I think Russia, and so forth. Anyway, then if you take the OIC countries on the right here, you see that really Iran is leading the OIC member state. Next to Turkey, Indonesia. So Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Egypt, Kazakhstan, etc. And this is for residents. But if you take for non-residents patents, you might say this is number one, next to China. And this is the production. You see, when you say production of patents, you are talking about technology. You are talking about how you are changing R&D into technology, and technology to innovation, and innovation to really high-tech products. So patent is an extremely important indicator for the level of technology of the country, the level of changing R&D to technology in the country. So again, here, United States is number one, China is number two, and the rest follow. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Badran.
And then,
Actually, there are two buildings. One is under construction, which you mentioned. The other is actually there are about 50 companies already operating, startup companies in the institute, which is full. When the first building became full, we are now.
thank you.
And the third building also, with two more buildings, one, so 3 buildings planned purely on startups. But one is fully operating.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very fast, Joffrey. It's a pleasure for me again to introduce you. Well, very fast. Well, we've known each other for almost 4 decades now. And he's a leading scientist of Pakistan, mashallah. And he has an H index of 80, and over 36,600 citations, and 57 international patents, 68 books, and 40 chapters in books. He is the vice president of PLOS. He won recently the Mustafa on the prize 2021, and he also the coordinator of Comsec. But above all, he's a wonderful human being and an excellent scientist, and it's a pleasure to associate with him. First, he was my PhD student. He did his PhD with me. And his thesis went to Maurice Sharma, who wrote that this must be a world record for the number of new natural products that he discovered in this thesis. This was from Pennsylvania, and Maurice Sharma. So thank you, Dr. Iqbal, to be talking to you about combating drug development, which are there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I think the day when I met with my teacher, Professor Dr. Taliban, was the most memorable and perhaps the most important day of my life. And that is certainly life-changing. And I must say, sir, whatever I say is with the So, what I'm going to present is largely the culmination of a lot of discussion which we had together. And what I would do in about 19 minutes is to give you what we really think of the future drug discovery and development in terms of sustainability. You see, if you want to know how much it costs to develop a drug, is about 2 billion or over. A new molecular entity, a new drug requires so much of investment, and perhaps 10 to 15 years for the development of a single drug. Because this is the kind of input you need, and perhaps thousands of scientists working together of an interdisciplinary paradigm to develop a drug. But if you look into the downside of it, apart from heavy investment, this is the synthetic drugs are based on fossil fuel, and this is a earth non-renewable resource, so certainly non-sustainable. Synthesis which is involved is extremely polluting. Pharmaceutical industries are considered to be the most polluting industry in the world because of the use of hazardous chemicals and a number of other very large inputs of energy and others. Technologies such as combinatorial synthesis have not only yielded, and as a result of it, we want to see many new drugs coming. This is the most dangerous part of it. You know, when you look into the drug discovery and development, you hardly find any drug coming for the movement diseases. Largely, the drug discovery is completely dysmetrical, which is focused more on wish management. And that is the reason there is a need of a paradigm shift. We need to ensure the availability of drugs for future global healthcare, including the course of the global south. If you look into the sustainable development goals, you'll find that many of them, as presented by Professor Dr. Gupta, many of them are related to healthcare and stuff. But if you go for that, drug for all, this is good health and well-being. Drug discovery from renewable sources, zero dependence on fossil fuel. We're talking about this consumption, sustainable, responsible consumption, production, drug discovery without the use of toxic chemicals. There are so many of this which are directly related to sustainable development goals. And of course, medicine for poor man, diseases, and health. So there are a number of factors which make this current paradigm completely non-inclusive and non-development. So what I'm going to do is to give you very briefly two examples, because 20 minutes is just almost a time when I take start. So I'm going to talk about the use of nature to neglected tropical diseases, and of course, most cost-effective way of developing drug, which is called drug repurposing. Nature, as we understand, and let me take you to the words of human attack. We said they are evolutionarily optimized as drug-like molecules and remain the best source of drug and drug use. And this is what has actually earned in the field of chemistry. There is no other field which has earned more Nobel Prizes than the field of nature. So you find these fascinating molecules identified, isolated, modified by fascinating group of people to receive the highest recognition in the field of nature. What we have done was that we have conducted nationwide surveys. So this huge country of ours, which is about 2,700 kilometers long from one coast to the Chinese border, we have conducted lots of these surveys. As a result of it, we were able to develop a very large library of plant extract along with the ethnography. And based on that, we have been doing lots of chemistry. We have been isolating compound, fully characterizing them, modifying their structures, and we have a bank, which is a molecular bank. So we have lots of banks. This is an institution which is full of banks with bank managers. So we have biobank, we have molecular bank, we have cell banks, we have microbial bank, we have dietary extract bank, and they work exactly on the same principles of like a bank. Where there is a bank manager, you can borrow, you can deposit, and that bank system has really played an extremely important role in interdisciplinary research, which we were able to culminate in. So let me just take you through a very important disease, leishmaniasis, which is among the most neglected tropical diseases. Among among the disease, we really find that the cutaneous leishmaniasis is very important. Pakistan was not an endemic country for this tropical parasitic neglected, super neglected disease. Even it is more neglected than malaria. And literally millions of people are affected from that. So this is among the greatest public health problem. Broad spectrum of disease related to this parasite called Leishmania major or Leishmania tropical, which is a vector-borne and is prevalent in many parts of the world, particularly Africa, Asia, and Latin. So this is the life cycle, extremely complex life cycle with lots of zoonotic reservoirs. And you see, in Pakistan, now among the most common, most prevalent diseases tropical disease, cutaneous leishmaniasis is now extremely common, becoming the competitive. So this is the kind of oozing, never healed sores which develop, which are certainly not fatal, but this is extremely painful. And if it is on the faces of people, then you really have many different problems. So this is the map of the world. We find only a few spots of visceral leishmaniasis, which is systemic disease. But this is the cutaneous leishmaniasis, where the whole region of West Asia and South Asia, as well as the almost entire South America is affected from cutaneous leishmaniasis, a super neglected area. In Pakistan, if you can look into it, so CL is now endemic. It came from Afghanistan. Diagnosis and treatment is extremely difficult, because dermatologists would have nightmare of identifying it from the other kind of skin diseases, and requires on the field, point of care, PCR, which we don't have. And then leishmania major is changing the trend. We used to have leishmania major, now tropica is coming up. So a new tropica, leishmania tropica is coming up, which is a nightmare to treatment, 100% treatment failure when it comes to loss of these repercussions. And then we have noticed in the last 3 years, mixed and co-infection are now very, very common in Pakistan. We have a wide spectrum of clinical variants, which make it very, very difficult to diagnose at stage. Okay, so this is the map, and almost between March to July, hardly any day when you don't find a news about cutaneous leishmaniasis in Pakistan. Last year, it was a leishmania outbreak in Daru, which has affected over 1,600 people in one particular hospital area. And so what we have done was that we started looking into the ethnobotany of leishmaniasis. We've identified many plants. I'll show you the results of only one of it very quickly. So what we have done was that we selected these plants on the basis of their use in our cultures. And this plant, called Physalis, this is a very common plant. It is, in fact, globally available. You find them all around the world. And its activity was compared with the best drug available, amphotericin B, which is an antifungal drug repurposed for leishmaniasis. And Physalis is used for a variety of different purposes, including as a vermifuge. So it is antiparasitic, already known in folk culture. I'm showing what actually happened was that 50% alcoholic extract of the plant was used as an anti-malarial agent. And this is a very simple slide, to be honest, but not so clear at this point of time. You can see that 80% of the alcoholic extract was used for clinical trials, and then we were able to isolate every important compound in this extremely complex mixture of we were also able to modify this structure by catalytic method, which requires no use of hazardous chemicals. Absolutely. Only microorganisms. So this is the isolation scheme. I don't go into it also. I just want to show you that we were able to isolate and identify each one of it and then compare the activity with the best available drug, including antifungal. And as a result of it, the clinical trials were conducted, and clinical trials were conducted now on thousands of people. Last year, over 1,000 people were treated by using this particular topical formulation which was developed in the world. So, very large number of people in different hospitals in different regions. this is available now. Right? So this is the formulation which is available, and it is our volunteers go. This is through the Ministry of Health of our province, and you will find that many people are now treated from this particular extract, for which we have now so much of science has already been discovered in our world. So this is now actually patent. And if you look into this letter, they said that in this context, you are requested to provide 10,000 doses because they are expecting a very large outbreak of leishmania in Sindh. So this is extremely important outcome of basic research. And I'll tell you the structure here. And if you, by any definition, can see the complexity of the structure, you can see that these are extremely complex molecules. If you wish to synthesize, no way, it requires several, Nobel Prizes to construct molecules of this nature with right stereochemistry. These are steroidal lactones called lithium. So we have isolated all of them, majority of them from nature, and they were found to be more active than amphotericin B and antimony. Now, what we have done was, this is extremely neat work. What we have done was that what happened is that from sandfly, so sandfly bite with the bite on the skin, and they promise to go in, goes into the macrophage. And these macrophages, we have developed this macrophage assay, and we were able to demonstrate that in macrophages they convert to MST CORs, and the human macrophages we were able to identify how they replicate and how the test drugs inhibit their propagation. So you can see that by using different microscopic techniques, we were able to demonstrate how these compounds can really inhibit their propagation. And let's take you through another very, very important project in natural science. Dengue. And dengue is extremely common in Pakistan now. It is one of the most widespread disease during certain seasons. And there is a protein called NS5. Then what actually happens is that dengue is infected by Egypti, and dengue virus with 4 phenotypes has many proteins. One of these proteins are a non-structural 5 protein. And this 5, the NS5, is critically important in the application of virus, also in the production of virus against the host immune system. This is what I want to present you. By using our skin and interactive resonance spectroscopy, NMR, we were able to extract protein, and then we were able to dock these molecules, which we have in our library, and we're able to demonstrate that by using saturation difference and spectroscopy, we can actually identify the part of the molecule which is interacting with the receptor. You saturate this protein with radio frequency. By saturation diffusion, it goes into the part of the protein, so-called active site, where these ligand molecules are interacting. This radio frequency is then transferred to ligand molecule by called transfer nuclear overall effect. And as a result of it, this molecule, the ligand molecule will show saturation difference. This is the most direct method through which you can identify which part of the ligand molecule is interacting with the protein. And out of many drugs, this is almost a high throughput, foolproof system, absolutely quantitative, in which you can identify which part of the molecule is actually interacting. So I'll just show you one example of it. For instance, this is the protein was expressed in a molecular biology laboratory, and we were able to dock that with it no chromogenic acid is required. And you can see that by using acid, you're able to identify which protons of this large molecule is actually they are interacting with it. And of course, we have done lots of molecular docking experiments. So you can see that this is a method through which you can carry out epitope. You can most effectively, quantitatively measure which part of the molecule is interacting with the. You can do it with viruses, you can do it with whole cells, you can do it in cell. So if you have a target in cell, you can also carry out saturation difference analysis by using this technique and identify. So if then effectively we're able to identify out of these 72 molecules, you're able to identify which one is interacting and inhibiting the polymerase activity. Just wish to wrap up and I tell you that we were able to achieve that nature-based drug discovery can help in areas such as magnetic tropical diseases. We have many patents and many products which are in development, including anti-epileptic, anti-Parkinson, anti-Leishmanian is already in clinical use. We use biologically active transcription for modifying the structure, and this is a group of people, absolutely wonderful, with different strength and expertise working together for this project. And we have been very, very lucky to have from both international, local sources, as well as in the industry. I just, in last 2 minutes, I take the advantage of it. This is the beautiful building which was constructed during the 16-year tenure of Dr. This is right at Constitution Avenue. Established in 1981, President is the chair, Prime Minister is the co-chair. This works in a very organized manner that we have Comsec General Assembly and then Comsec Secretariat Coordinator General since they are and this is the kind of General Assembly. So these are huge efforts. We have distinguished colleagues from Comsec. So Comsec General Assembly is comprised of ministers, representatives of voice institutions, organizations, and Comsec has presently there are several networks vertically work with many US institutions and Comsec program. So the largest training program from 0 fellowship to over 700 fellowships now. Last year, Comsec health program from 0 health program to now programs in with development back with many organizations. We are in Chad, we are in Burkina Faso, Uganda, recently we in Khartoum. And then, of course, we have been working with the large research project program, IAS program, like COVA. Now we have it with UNESCO, ICBs, and others. Comsec Consortium of Excellence is comprised of top universities of the world. They have a full security program. They have countries that get 500 fellowships for Palestinians, 550 fellowships in Germany, public health, Nigeria, citrus area, Sudan, and food security in Somalia, and of course that we have other programs. Just and I want to so Comsec is now OIC's most active organization and an organization which is cherished for its activity and its impact. Thank you very much.
This session is a little bit interactive. So time for one quick question and one quick answer. Anybody? I'll just make one little comment. For the advantage of the saturation transfer difference NMR spectroscopy is that it is firstly a proton technique, so it's highly sensitive. Secondly, there's no labeling required. You don't need carbon 30 labels or N15 or whatever. So that's a big advantage when you're looking at enzyme substrate interactions. And with our 800 and 600 megahertz and so on, it's a very, very powerful tool to look at mechanisms through which drugs interact with enzymes. Thank you very much, Carl.
Well, good morning, everybody. This morning, I feel very privileged not only to introduce the distinguished speakers in the session, but also to chair a session with some people. Every time I meet Professor Atta, I feel I'm a student learning from his massive experience and his wisdom. I thank the organizers for giving me this. Now I come to introduce Professor Musawi. Professor Musawi is a professor of biophysics and the head of the Institute of Biochemistry and Biophysics at the University of Tehran. He is a fellow of the IAS. More information about his achievements can be found in the conference book on page 53. Professor Musawi will address us on halal products, molecular science, and dental.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings and good morning to everyone. I thank you much from the organizer to invite me to come here to see you and talk with you. Thank you for it. Today, I'm going to talk about the halal products, biomolecular sciences, and healthy life. This is new insight on halal products. Today, halal products are placed in the framework of science, and scientific parameters can be measured for them. The insights of science in halal products can be studied by different disciplines, such as biochemistry, biophysics, and bioinformatics. From a biological point of view, the common relationship between halal products and human health is supposed. One of the angles is the biological output on protein function. In halal and non-halal foods, protein is molecular machine for our life, and the main rule proposed as protein structure function relationship. This is about the just splattering halal and non-halal. Just we have done some research and give it to you some of information of our own research. You see, the non-halal splattering, we have the less bleeding, and the halal splattering, we have more bleeding. Extraction of myoglobin as an indicator of meat protein we have done. This is very important slide. You see here, this is the DSC plot, differential scanning method. Thermal profile is the identification of protein structure. we see two structures. This is non-halal and this is halal. We see two things here. This is CD, heat capacity, against comparative. Heat capacity show the hydrophobic measure, the best criteria for hydrophobic measure. And CD, you see, related to anesthesia degree on function. Most of the drugs, as you know, or unconscious diseases that hydrophobic structure. This one show non-halal structure more CD, means more hydrophobic, means more unconscious for us. And the other just different structure at the end. Temperature, melting of the protein is different. Myoglobin is an oxygen carrying protein in muscle that is found in meat. In this work, the halal and non-halal myoglobin were purified from slaughtered sheep, and the thermal profiles were measured by differential scanning parameter (DSP) for both products. You have the National Center, Excellent Center of Biothermodynamics at the University of Texas. Thermal profile of protein by DSC is the identification of protein structure. In this research, the structures of both myoglobins are completely different via DSC. Therefore, their function should be different. This is our method. Protein structure function relation. When the structure is different, change of the function. Functional parameters for aggregation is digestibility, unbalanced free radical. This is the definition of any ester. Any ester just defined as an unbalanced free radical. Any ester of two types of myoglobin measured and shown. Non-halal case for aforementioned parameters were increased related to halal case. This is non-halal, more aggregation, 8 times related to halal. Radical oxygen species lost, 2 times. Less digestibility, 2 times related to halal. This is important results for us and show us this from the non-halal products is more rust, more rust, and their bringing for us as to radical oxygen species and diabetes or not. This is the map of estate, not sugar. It is important to note that diabetes, especially type 2, 90% of diabetes in type 2, is not only a disease of sugar, but also a disease of estate. The molecular definition of estate means the induction of unbalanced free radicals. Therefore, the use of stressful foods and stressful habits increases the possibility of diabetes or any type of industrial disease, which should be careful. Lifestyle based on science and reason. Lifestyle based on science and reason, one of the most important general knowledge for humanity and society. Lifestyle such as halal mixed myoglobin oxygenation in muscle. So there we go. Food asleep in melatonin. This is the antioxidant. The first antioxidant of our body. Produced at the night. We should have food asleep. This is antioxidant. Happiness. This is serotonin. Serotonin produced in day by the enzymatic reaction change to melatonin. The same structure, but just we have transfer serotonin to melatonin. Good serotonin, good melatonin. I can say have a happy day, a sleep day at night. This is very important. Serotonin. All of this is molecule. Professor Akbar talked about the molecular bunch. That's better than money. Satisfaction is oxytocin. It is a molecule. Forgiveness. If you haven't forgiven, oxytocin is produced in your body. Exercise is used oxytocin. It is very important. Okay, I'm going to coin a terminology for science in this conference as a molecular lifestyle. It is more in this activity. Molecules play important and vital role in our lives. We get them from our lifestyle and good feeds. They are made in our body and called reward molecules. Reward molecules. We can coin in this conference the terminology named molecular lifestyle. Hope I can write a book in this term in the near future. Man metabolism and chemical reaction, all of us, our metabolism is chemical reaction. Man metabolism is resembled to chemical reaction. Molecules are the vital secret of our life. Let's know and respect them as a reward vital molecule. Halal products have a different molecular mechanism from non-halal products. The biomolecular structure of halal products is less stressful. It is the important role in human health and well-being. We have written a book. This is first at the University of Tehran as a chemistry, innovation, and halal food products. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Professor Musawi. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the last speaker of the session, Professor Al-Bayan, who is the fellow of the IAS. Professor Al-Bayan is currently the Dean of Faculty of Pharmacy at Gazi University, Ankara, Turkey. More information about your achievements is available on the conference book on page 49. Thank you.
morning, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And thanks for the kind introduction. It's my privilege here to talk about our recent research in front of many distinguished fellows and scientists. So I'm also kind of a member of IAS, so very happy to be part of Islamic Academy of Sciences. I'm also a member of British Academy of Sciences, and I know that two academies are working together. So today, my speech title is Drugs for Nature. So nature means everything, covering plants, microorganisms, marine organisms, and animal species, of course. And of course, Dr. Iqbal mentioned a lot about the importance of natural products in clean and in drug R&D. That's why they're very inspiring models for new drug candidates. They can be directly used as drugs. There are many examples, and also we conduct pharmacotherapies, which can have standardized access. In terms of drugs, they act differently, but anyway, we can consider them as pharmaceuticals. And sometimes they can be used not directly, but the derivatives of the natural molecule, and their specific or synthetic derivatives of their synthetic compounds. There are many different examples of drugs coming from nature. But actually, today in this speech, I would like to draw your attention to causes rather than pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals are also borderline products having a cosmetic ingredient as well as pharmaceutical ingredient. So that's why in some ways they are called cosmetics, cosmeceuticals, or cosmeticals as a new term. And now there are lots of products called cosmeceuticals. The main differences are emphasized, they need to have a drug active substance or active substance in their ingredient. So consumers, especially in the cosmetic industry, they are looking for products with better efficacy, safer, and also natural coming from nature. So these products, that's why they are very important. They are trendy. That's why my research is going two ways, like finding new active inhibitors of some drugs, which are related to as well as cognitive research. So this is the simple workflow that we follow in my lab. So we offer the traditional medicine, doesn't matter anatomical medicine or other countries' traditional medicine, construction, we do some primary anti-inflammatory assays, and then we get active extracts. We usually follow activity guided fractionation and that enzyme inhibition assays again, and we get active fractions. And anyway, and then we try to find active components or compounds. So what's the aim in the end is to discover the active metabolized or metabolized group. So in this sense, actually we do screen against pyrosase polygenic, elastase, microstructures, and some more, and we follow the same strategy in the lab as you can see. And we try to do some formulations. And yesterday, some speakers also mentioned about collaboration between the university and industry, and having patents, having joint projects, and getting also patents. So we follow the same strategy because as Dr. Abada mentioned that, for example, in my country, in Turkey, the increasing patent applications and the registered factors, the number is increasing incredibly because of the government policy. The universities are actually just divided into two sections in Turkey. The first leading 20 universities are now categorized as research-based, and they get scores out of each patent applications and product which are commercialized. So that's why the patent number is going up very fast. So anyway, against the skin bleaching or skin whitening agents, there are some products already in the market, as you can see, but they are just commonly used in skin whitening products, but of course, some side effects still being used by new services. So coming back to industry and university collaboration and commercializing, some products that we found in the lab. So I will start with an example of that. So this is the study that we actually did in collaboration with Hacettepe University of the Pharmacy Faculty. So they synthesized pharmaceutical chemistry department. They synthesized over 100 derivatives of standard compounds, chlorophenic acid, alcohol, and alcoholic acid, which is a natural metabolite anyway, coming from some contrast. So these 135 derivatives, these three parent compounds were screened by against pyrosase in my lab. Then actually we found one of this derivatives. So this is projected that were benzene pyrrolase. So what happens if this active compounds found in this series to apply to interstitial institute or to patency, and one of the key members she established a company called Costco, and with this product, actually, and with this compound, we got several patents, and you can see here, Turkish patents, US patents, European patents in different countries. So this is our team behind this product, as you can see. So it's a female team. So we got Best Academic National Medal in 2018. You can see. So this is the product now, which contains the active components that we found, we discovered in the lab after that screening. So this is how it looks like. So this is a registered product, only sold in pharmacies for individual products. So another work that we have done is Turkey is, I mean, the new name of my country is Turkey, not Turkey anymore. Based on nation distinction. So I still call it Turkey. But anyway, my country is Turkey. So we have a lot of species, about 12,000 taxa. So among them, we screened one genus called Gerani, all species of this genus. So screened against parasites. So we did lots of experiments, anyway, we should see. With HDL, we can see we also identified some major components, and then we did fractionation by HDL, and then we did a computer analysis and identified some other components like the large plastic, for polyethylene plastic. You can see here as a starting and in each step, for you test each fraction of the stylus, and with some of the blocking experiments, and you can see compounds actually easily interact with a couple atoms in the center of this enzyme, as well as the other parts of active style. So anyway, it's my kind of benefits for this open interaction on the interactions with polyethylene and hydrogen, you can see, and we screen these products also in some in silico programs like this prediction program help our activity and the expected activity to match. So it's this prediction program which will be interested in, and it gives a program, in past program actually, in one very we've been working with that. This is energy basic. In this prediction program and past program, we can see we also saw a good correlation with the working with that. So out of this extract, with after identifying the large components, we did a free formation for staging and also patterns agency. So it will be commercialized very soon. Another work within this limited time that I would like to mention is another study that we have done with some plant extracts. So we treat them against tyrosine elastic pathologies, and some of them you can see could inhibit at least two these enzymes. And then we did biology test using NPT assays. Here you can see the result. So cytotoxicity actually goes this way. Some the statue shell, the extract of this plant was the most cytotoxic one. So we beat the collagen content in fibroblasts, how they can enhance production of collagen. This is important in products. So you can see in this plant extract can enhance collagen production in fibroblasts at varying levels. Among them, statuary not eliminated because of its cytotoxicity. So we did some culture studies with this plant as well, some examples. So we treated haploid cell lines and white cell lines with, for example, protein extract. This plant is called the smoke tree. This is also mentioned from here. So out of these extracts, we try to make some formulation. For example, lime has a relatively deep formulation. So we try lime formulation and you can see some very reputable brands nowadays also use Islamic. And so here you can see in terms of particle side, I tested again, but as a niche product in nylon formulation, we were not able to test them against this enzyme. So I also collaborate with Austrian Drug Research Institute, Professor Hinterborn. He is a very with me. So they have a very perfect screening lab. They were very trying to screen our finished formulations. But after the products were screened in IAS, we saw that the nylon formulations were not working. So we changed our direction to preparing a homogeneous formulation with this small creep and non-organism formulation that we prepared here, so we applied to patents. Now this in progress. The last part of my speech is about nanofibers. This is a relatively relatively subject that we will find in this area, and it finds a wide range of applications as a new dosage work because it has some advantages like large surface area, easy operation, increased velocity. You can adjust the pore size, and it is so because it looks like material. Here you can see, and there is a specific machine for that. You need to have it to produce nanofibers. So we have worked on a formulation which can be used as wood dressing. Wood dressing integrate plant extracts into nanofiber. You can see, and to see how it works or how much it is effective. So the purpose was to have fast wooden peeling process when applied extract into nanofiber, and that's why we also work on cotton copia, which is can see a lot of, we combined the extract and anti and the platform. They have different advantages, as you can see here. These advantages could be actually valuable for any one person. So these are the answers because this working strategy based on proceeding. This is the machine that we now produce our files last year. But not only producing, we also need to do other experiments for cell culture to see how it works in cells, and for wound stretching effects, cell weight, and proliferation imaging, and then we aim to, of course, apply for therapy. So now we almost finished the formulation. We just tested all these parameters. It was very well. Now we are at the stage of applying patent, as well as inshallah Friday. I will have a meeting with the company who would like to commercialize this fiber-based compress. So actually, the last part is another product that I would like to mention. As you can see here, a mount and spray that I formulated. I did R&D study that is faculty, and this is now this formulation, which consists of several essential oils of plants grown in Turkey, like Salvia folicosa, Atlantic, Oregano Moira, Matica, Famila, this one in a container oil, like sweet almond oil, as well as chocolate and percent. So it's a very strong antimicrobial agent. We tested and we just it works perfectly. So I applied for patent Turkish patent to my university. My university is now owner of this product. Produced in collaboration with a company called people. It is registered pharmacy. Half in Turkey and only sold in pharmacies. So I'm almost in the end. So this my university also applied for this formulation. European patents. This is the product and the company of pharmacy under my university. You can see. Just say having patents and getting your product or formulations commercialized, they are very important for academic research or scientific research, I can say. So these are the patents that we already got, and these are the applications, patent applications that I try to summarize for some of them. You can see here. This is our lab team here, and our fiber line, and our mission line, and my brain collaborators. I would like to acknowledge their names here and thank them a lot for collaboration. And in the end, actually, I just would like to mention about two massive earthquakes happening in our country on 6th of February, and you can see many people died, many people were saved, and thanks to many countries, over 100 countries, sending their professional rescue teams to, just save the people. But of course, countless of lives, animals, and people, they were saved, but more thousands are already dead. Unfortunately, many homeless people. The area affected area is as big as the size of Georgia, so 11 provinces, and then we can, collapsing buildings, and we have to contact all of them again. We have to be smart, and we have to find more for these people, schools and anything. So that's why, if you let me, I will start to dedicate this into the market. And these are some pictures of my university, Garden University. This is the Faculty of Pharmacy. We have two buildings, and academic building, and we have over clinical research labs. One of the faculties are participational accreditation, leading faculty, and further faculty on university, and many thanks for the patience.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ayhan, for a very interesting talk. You may want to talk about anti-aging
Yes.
creams. There are some compounds which have shown anti-aging effects in humans and in animals. One of them is resveratrol, another is nicotinamide, dinucleotide, the third is metformin, and the others. So you may want to look at some of those compounds and see where they can be used topically for creams for anti-aging skin anti.
Yes, thank you very much. I know already about that compounds. We work on resveratrol as for another purpose, but on other purposes, we have also developed a formulation, fresh formulation for that. And yes, those agents are widely used in topical anti-aging products, but then thanks for the suggestion.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, everybody. We have a 10-minute tea break now. Tea is just served outside. So please, please come back on. Thank you very much.